Oh, 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 oh!
This is Dune Awakening.
Oh, Giuseppe's dying. Oh, I'm in it. But I'm alive. I'm alive inside the worm. I'm alive. On the left. New.
So over the past 4 days, I've spent basically every waking hour playing Dune Awakening, and this is just going to be a quick video talking about my opinion about Dune Awakening. So, this is our little base. This is the guild base we've got set up. It's basically become a garage. All the bikes. There was about 40, 50 of us-ish that tried the game in the end. I think this is my bike over here. And yeah, I mean, in short, the TLDR, if you don't want to watch the whole video, the TLDR for me is the game is good. Like, I genuinely enjoyed playing the game. I am not a huge Dune fan. I'm not a mega Frank Herbert fan. I love the movies. My first memory of Dune is Dune 2000, back when we were playing Red Alert with Westwood and all that. And we got Gimli in the cinematics. That's when I think of Dune. I think of Dune 2000, and I think of just enjoying the movies, like good action movies. I like it. So for me, I don't look at this game and think, oh, that's not lore accurate, or that's not lore accurate. That kind of stuff just doesn't bother me. But you start to get, I think the guys, we just had this massive PvP fight. I think they're still fighting down there, killing each other. Yeah, it's nice to be in Dune, but I'm like, lore accurate stuff just doesn't bother me. So when I'm talking about anything here, I'm talking about a lot of this with a pinch of salt, what I'm seeing face value and what I enjoyed. So maybe for some of you guys who haven't played the beta or didn't get a chance to play it yet, where I'm heading to in the south, if I make it, if I don't die, is kind of like the starting zone. This is the Hagar Basin south. Slightly different resources, slightly less drain on you know, the survival side of the game, and you know, it's kind of your introduction to the game, really. It's your first glimpses of the worm. And this part of the game is actually quite good. It's very entertaining. The quests are not so bad. You end up working your way through what they've called the trials. So you go first, second, third, fourth, and now we're on to the 5th trial. So I think it's first, and you guys will probably correct me if I'm wrong here. I think it's first and not sure. Not too many spoilers, but you end up making your way through the game here, and this is actually very enjoyable. You're kind of like eased into the game. You're picking up some research points, you're learning the survival basics, and you're just kind of getting used to the game. And this is actually very good. I rated this. This was fun. We managed to get together a bit. You meet up in the oh god, that's normally the sound of death when the music starts playing. You meet up in the safe zone, and you're just kind of chilling and questing together a bit. So the entry level to the game is really nice, super easy. Then when you get a little bit deeper, you end up getting into that northern section where I've just come from, and in there you start to get into the iron phase. You start to get more weapons, different armor, slightly more difficult enemies, and things like that. So there's a natural progression. The building side of the game's good. I'm just looking at all these builds over here. The building side of the game's fine. For most of us, we build kind of square blocks, but for a lot of you guys that may have watched the dev videos, you could absolutely make some fantastic buildings. There's lots of building options here. Just get out of the sound and I'll run through them quickly. Oh, I've got no ammo. We've just been fighting all the guildies. I've got no ammo. Okay, so for construction, you have the different houses, so Atreides and Harkonnen, and you can get different skins between them. And I think that's where they're probably going to introduce a lot of the DLC. But as you can see here, there's just so many different types of buildings. Lots of small angles, stair corners, loads of different angles. So for you guys who are keen on building, the building side of it's actually pretty good. Yeah. Chom facility, Chom shelter. Then you have all your decorations like lights, drawers, carpets, seats, all that jazz. But yeah, in essence, this is the start of the game. So what we've experienced in the beta is probably like 20% of this. So you start here, and then you progress into the western and the eastern Vermilius Gap, and then the game will just get deeper and deeper. But this is the PvP's. Excuse me. This is the PvE zone. Essentially, the PvE map where you start. There is PvP, which will happen around here, and there's one here as well. So there's like crashed ships. You can PvP there, but what's going to happen is you're going to get an ornithopter, and you're going to fly out of this map. That'll take you into the deep desert, and that's where we don't really know a great deal about the game. And something that, you know, over the weekend, a lot of the questions that you guys have been asking me have been, what do you think of the game? How's the game? Is it good? And in short, you know, the game is a good game. Like, I enjoy playing it, but fundamentally, we don't know what the game is really like, because we're kind of just out of the tutorial stage, and this is where, you know, we, in an ideal world, we would have got to play the deep desert publicly, but yeah, we haven't. So it is a difficult question to answer, whether the game is good and whether it's worth spending the 50, 60, 70 quid that, you know, that they're asking for this price. Yeah, I really don't think I can answer it. I think for me, it's, if you're unsure, I can see the bit of a glitch there. If you're unsure, probably hang fire until you see people in the deep desert on launch. The only downside of that is you miss that kind of early exciting rush. But yeah, the exciting part for me is the vehicles have been fun to drive. So we've managed to drive around in the buggies and the bikes. But what's coming soon is you can customize these a lot more. So put on utilities to mine things. You can put rocket launchers on these. You can go. We're currently driving Mark II, or some of us Mark III bikes. They go up to Mark VI, 5, and then 6. And then you also have these higher tier buggies. This is very exciting. So you can then get the sand crawler to harvest the spice. You can then get the carrier ornithopter to then carry the sand crawler to then go and drop it off and harvest the spice. You then have these ornithopters which will have rockets on, and scout ornithopters, and all of this seems very exciting, and I'm very keen to see how this plays out, because quite frankly, so far, the melee combat is a huge letdown. I'm hoping they kind of look into that. It's not too bad when you're PvEing, but in PvP, it's just, it leaves a lot. It leaves a lot up to it needs work. It really does need work. One of the things for me, like a personal preference here, is when you pull out your gun, your character looks where you're telling him to look. When you pull out a melee weapon, if I just do the same actions, you can see how it changes and how like floaty it is. That's like a personal thing from other melee combat games that I've played. You feel quite floaty, and I have a personal preference again of when I'm engaging, I don't like to be committed. I'm not a great player, so I don't want to commit to a move. I want to be able to attack while, you know, I want to swing here, swing, and it feels a little bit more fluid. Personal preference again, but I think that would help massively with the melee combat. Apart from that, to be honest, I don't really have much bad to say. It's been fun. There's been some bugs, but not like game-breaking bugs. I can see myself playing in this this game and getting 50 quid's worth of time. But being a family man now with 2 kids and a missus, we where we're staying at the moment in Scotland, it's like £10 a pizza. We don't do this often, but you know, it's ended up being like 45 quid for 4 pizzas for one night. Like, oh, hello there. It's a lovely view. Oh, try to shank me. Well, nice to meet you too. So yeah, like for me personally, like this is like, I mean, look at this. It is a beautiful environment. If you have any, you know, inclination to enjoy Dune, you know, and you've enjoyed it in the past, like you've enjoyed the movie, it's very cool. They've done a very good job making the game feel like it fits within the Dune universe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments here, but this is on a slightly different timeline. So you meet the Reverend Mother at the beginning, you meet some similarities to the movies, to the books, but they've set it in its own timeline, so they have some creative freedom with what they do within the game. But yeah, a few things that need to be sorted. Combat in general, I played Ark Raiders over the weekend before this, and it was just so polished and felt so smooth with your character. So the character play, the character movement, and the controls around combat and just general character, I think needs to be improved, and I think that's one of the things that will let the game down over time. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just not up to scratch with the others, you know, that are being released at the moment. So people might take that into consideration and not feel as, you know, won't feel as good. I haven't touched base on too much yet, so we'll just quickly, you know, you got the crafting side is pretty cool. You do a lot of it in your base. The research is huge. There's so much to research here, especially if you go into like the unique items. There's so much to get. It's huge. The skills, there's the Bene Gesserit, the Sword Master, the Planetologist, the Mentat, the Trooper, and you can mix and match these so you can change your character. There's so many side quests. There's lots of skins coming in, I think, so you can start to customize your weapons and your swords and maybe, you know, your characters. There is an issue currently with the guilds. You give your guild permission for your base and then they can't access it. You have to give it personally. That's a pain. The Landstrad stuff is going to be exciting. This is Atreides versus Harkonnen. If your guild wins, you can, for example, make it full loot PvP in a deep desert. There is wealth to this game. There is depth to this game, and it's exciting. But fundamentally, the characters and the control when you're fighting, I feel, need to be improved to keep people playing long term in this game. But you know, for a beta weekend, I've had a fucking blast, and yeah, I'm excited to play on launch. So that's my thoughts on Dune. It's been great meeting a lot of you guys over the weekend, and I hope to see you on some future streams and future videos. Yeah, see you in Arrakis.